Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Sunday here in North Carolina. It's rainy and cold, so I ordered some more parts this week for the Packard, so we're going to throw some parts at this thing today and give you a little bit of an update on it. So here's how we're looking under the hood right now. So I have the air cleaner back on it. I have all the fluids full. All the electrical stuff is buttoned up, fuel system and whatnot. And I actually drove it up the road the other day. When I got back, the water pump was making a bunch of noise, which is actually this one right here. So I have the other car outside. I stole the water pump off of it and threw it on here real quick because the bearings in it felt good. Well, it turns out all the gaskets on it leak. So what I did was I contacted my buddies over at Max Merit and got a remanufactured water pump from them. This is year and model specific. Also came with the 2 gaskets I need. And the other stuff we're going to be doing today, while I had them on the phone, is I got a speedometer cable for the car. And I also got the last piece of trim that I need. And I know it looks beat up, but this is what I asked them for. So this is the right rear door trim. And I told them I want one not in good condition, so it will match the rest of the trim on the car, which is not in good condition. And the guys were nice enough to send me a t-shirt, so I'll be rocking that at some car shows this summer, I'm sure. So the first thing I have to do is get this back plate off of the old water pump. And what I'm going to do is hit these 2 flat heads with some penetrating oil, let it sit for a little bit, see if I can break them loose, and then what I'm going to do is start transferring parts over to the reman water pump, and we might hit this with some primer real quick, and then we'll get it in the car. Alright, so under the hood here, the first thing we did was we got the belt off so we can spin the water pump. And you can see the bearings in this one are good. The gaskets were just leaking. And I figured since I had to take it all the way apart again, we just replaced the pump with a reman. First thing I'm going to do is get this fan off, and the reason I'm doing that is I don't want to damage the radiator when I pull the water pump off. So if you look at the other side, there's a transmission cooler attached to the lower radiator hose, and it's bolted to the block. So what you have to do is slide the water pump off that hose. And I don't want to take the risk of beating the fan into the radiator when I do that, so I'm going to go ahead and remove the fan first. Okay, the old water pump, fan, and pulley are removed. And I've got the back of the car jacked up so the block can finish draining so no coolant gets on the gasket when I install the new one. You can see the back of it's jacked up. So what I'm going to do now is attempt to get these 2 flathead screws out that hold this backing plate on. They're pretty seized up, so hopefully I have some luck getting these off. And then I'm not going to paint this. I just decided I'm going to let it go ahead and rust. With the humidity we have here in North Carolina, should take a couple of months, but I don't want to put something that looks brand new on something that looks like it's been sitting in a field for a long time. And this is something I talked with the Max Merit guys about. I want to keep this thing looking old. You know, I'm not going to restore it. I'm just fixing all the mechanical stuff. And if you guys follow the channel, you know I put all new floors in it and rocker panels to fix any of the rust issues that it had. So I'm going to start swapping parts over to the new pump as soon as I get that backing plate off, and then we'll slap the new one on there. A little bit of heat and some vice grips combined with a screwdriver. We got those 2 out. You can see the old gasket here. The inside of this thing is in pretty good shape. It's not rusted or anything out of control. So it should be a good core for them to rebuild, sandblast, put new bearings in, whatever they need to do. So I'm going to get that one boxed up. In the meantime, I'm going to clean my old backing plate because it has to go on the new pump. All cleaned up and ready to go on the water pump. Now I'm sure you can see there's some pitting in here, so what I'm going to do is take a very light coat of silicone and put on this surface before I put it on the water pump. And I'm going to do the same on this side before it goes to the block. The block itself is very clean, so I'm not going to put any silicone on that side. Alright, same scenario on this side, just a very light coat of silicone. And I chose to put the fan on because it's kind of a real pain to get it off in the car. So I have a piece of cardboard shoved in here that's going to go between the fan blades and the radiator to hopefully keep it from nicking anything. We're going to throw this thing in here real quick. All right, now that the pump is on, I have to get the generator hooked back up, get the water lines back on tight, and fill it with some coolant. Okay, everything is back together, belts on, fans in, all the water lines are hooked up, generator / alternator is on. I'm gonna wait to fill this with coolant. I'm gonna give the silicone some time to set up. So something I've been wanting to do for a while is finally put the last piece of trim on this car. I also got that from Max Merit, and like I said, they sent me one that is not in good shape because none of the other trim is. And I had them send me some extra retaining clips since these are all broken on this trim piece. So I'm going to try to pull this trim off so I can get the new clips in it and then get ready to put that trim piece on. Alright, so this trim has a little bit of damage on the back side where it was pulled off, and it's bent a little bit. So what I'm going to do is carefully take a hammer and try to straighten some of this stuff out, and then put it up against the car and kind of bend it and tweak it into place before I install the clips and snap it on the car. Okay, after some tweaking and some hammering, we have trim all the way down the side of the car. We got a little bit missing there, but we're not going to worry about that. And all the way down that side of the car. So what I'm trying to accomplish right now is to get this thing roadworthy. So I've filled fluids, I've checked for leaks, which it has a few. There's a few more things I need to button up. There's a car show in a couple of months that is 50s oriented, and I'd like to drive it to that car show. So that's what I'm working on right now. So I'll have a few more videos of me buttoning stuff up, getting some of the interior in. I'm going to do the speedo cable at a later date, but got a lot done today. I'm going to go inside and get cleaned up. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to check me out on Instagram. I've been doing a lot on there lately, and we will see you next time.